Hi Alyssa, thank you for coming to Harvard. Hope you had a good time in Boston and your tennis will improve as you head back to California. In your video lesson, you chose to work on your backhand and your serve. And here we see you hitting that backhand before we started working on it, and you mentioned that you didn't get enough power and you got a very spinny ball. Well, the reason why is you do a couple things here. Your backswing is very short, so you have to develop much more acceleration by lengthening that backswing. By lengthening that backswing, the hands have to come well behind those left hips. You'll get more loading on the left leg. Also, that racket face is a little more closed than it should be. Here we see you again in slow motion though, before you started working on the backhand. And we'll see how compact your swing is. Your hands simply drop that racket down, and you can see they're right next to your hips. So it's a very short swing. It's hard to develop a lot of acceleration and racket head speed with that short of a backswing. So you want those hands come further back, not just at your hips, but further back, at least maybe 5-6 inches away from your body and to the back to the fence. And that will also create a little more loading on your left leg, so you can go driving off your left leg more to the right leg and use the body more effectively to create acceleration. The other thing too, your racket closes a little too much, so you produce a very heavy topspin. You may not want to do that. Here we see you afterwards in slow motion. This is after working on your backhand. And you can see one of the things we did was really lengthen that backswing right here. Right there. You can see how much further it is. Probably about 5 inches further back. That probably will give you a few more miles per hour in your racket head speed. And if you recall, you started hitting a little more harder, and as well as probably a little less spin. Now the racket face still closes a little, but you'll notice when your hands come behind, and not behind your hips, but right there. You don't want those hands well behind your hips, almost to your back. You just want those hands pointing to the fence, and you did that very well. So by lengthening that swing by 5 or 6 inches, that'll improve your power. The other thing you may want to do is not close your racket as much. Here we see a slightly short ball. And you use your left leg beautifully there and load up for that low ball. That was beautiful right there, but good use of that back leg to drive too, as well as lengthening the swing. Now here we see before and after. And you see in slow motion again, the after on the right will have a longer backswing. You can see right there. The racket face is still a little closed. You can open that a little more in the backswing so you produce a flatter ball. Here we see you with Jelena Jankovic, former world #1. Her preparation backswing's a little high. She doesn't close that racket face as much as you see that. So her racket face does not close as much, and we'll take a look at it again. And notice how her racket remains a little perpendicular to the ground, a little more, so she's able to produce a flatter ball. So one of the things you may want to open that racket face just a little more, but the length of the backswing is really much improved. Here we see her afterwards. Notice the hands come a little further back. That was much better. Pull the elbows back too as well. You'll feel a little stretch through that arm. That's the last thing. You'll feel that right arm stretching the forearm, the upper arm of that right arm, where your triceps are, the shoulders. Pull it back a little longer. Give yourself a little longer. Pull back. There you go. That was a nice stroke right there. Pull it back a little longer. Give yourself a little more time. That was beautiful right there. Okay. Good luck, and thank you.